You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down.
We are live. I am so happy to have you here.
Thank
I
you for
hope
having
everybody
me.
who is tuning in, you are ready to be blessed. This is our wonderful, wonderful Miss Hope Thurgood, evangelist, author, mother, entrepreneur, superwoman. I am every woman. That's what she look.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be on Grown Girl Talk today. I'm honored. It's an honor.
So welcome everybody. Y'all come on in the room. We'll give people a few minutes to join. So Grown Girl Talk is a revamp of my previous talk show. I actually mentored some young ladies and we would have girl chat. So I wanted to revamp it and say Grown Girl Talk so nobody would be confused by, the branding and things like that, because it's going to be different from what I've done previously. Okay. And so I'm so excited for all our viewers to be on. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Share this broadcast, share this live, let everybody know to come back and view it later if they can't join in right now. Again, my name is Stacey J. I'm here with Miss Hope Thurgood, the beautiful, lovely, multifaceted, multifaceted Hope Thurgood.
Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it. It's
an honor to be here. I'm so glad that it's an honor for you. It's definitely an honor for me, for real. I truly appreciate you. And so I just want to read a little bit of something about you so people can get to know you a little bit better. She is a destiny-focused woman, and I can definitely vouch for that. She has experienced a lot on her journey that shaped her into the woman she is today. God hasn't wasted any of her experiences or pain as she encourages and inspires others through her life. She is a wife, mother, evangelist, entrepreneur, and author, and so many, many, many other wonderful things. So thank you so much for being my first guest on Grown Girl Talk.
Yay. Wow, that would have me to be the first guest. So that is an honor and a privilege. That right there is just enough for me. So I'm thankful for you and salute to even launching this. This is an amazing platform. So I wish you well in advance.
Thank you so much. So I definitely want to jump right in because we have a lot to talk about concerning your retreat and so many other things. But let's talk about your Healed for Real retreat. I'm so excited about that. And so tell us what made you want to do something like this.
Well, I have the Heal for Real retreat is coming to Hampton Roads, April 22nd and 23rd. It's a 2-day retreat. And the reason why I wanted to Heal for Real was birthed from a book. It was actually birthed while I was in the hospital recovering from a major illness. And so God had just been speaking to me about healing for several years. But when I got into my situation, I really began to hear him concerning this assignment and what he wanted me to do. People need to be healed, not from just sickness and disease or illnesses that come our way, but from past traumas. And even talking about this season we're in a global pandemic, still navigating it. And we're contending with so much that has caused many to just, suffer from different things to where they just need a touch from the Lord. And so Healed for Real is an assignment that means a lot. And I just believe that the people of God need to understand God's true ability to heal and know how to tap into that power.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you said that, because that kind of leads to my next question, which is I really want to unpack Healed for Real and what that means. So do you think that many people pretend to be healed, but they're still struggling with something, that they're still suffering with different things? So why or why not do you think people are pretending?
Right. So I don't think that everyone pretends. I just think that the mass majority of people, if you think about it, this season when everybody's wearing a mask, right? But as we come out of this global pandemic, the masks are coming off. And the level that God is taking us to, I just believe that we're no longer graced to function in some of our dysfunctions. We're going to, the kingdom is going to another level. And it's time for us to
say that one more time. We are no longer graced to do what?
We are no longer graced. The level that God has taken the kingdom to, because we know that God loves to move in a time, these times, in the 11th hour, where it seems like there is no hope. But we are no longer, because of the level that he has taken us to, grace to function in dysfunction. Yes, thorns are real. Yes, we're in the earth. There's always going to be things we're contending with, right? But he wants us to be healed for real. Understand his true ability and power to take that from you. Your past traumas, things that you show up to work, you show up to these spheres of influence that he has called many of us to, and we're literally wearing a mask. The future needs the authentic version of who we are. And so it's truly time that we tap into God's healing power and get healed for real. That's it.
If you ain't just said a whole word right there, the future needs your authentic self.
The future needs that. The future needs that from us. And even thinking about the time of this time we're in, right? Think about the global pandemic. The Lord showed me women, and I saw some research. And as we're exiting, because I do believe we're coming out of the pandemic, coronavirus will be around, but the virus is weakening. So as we're coming out of this and able to operate without, with less restrictions, I begin to think about the post-pandemic era and how many people are learning how to do things hybrid. A lot of people won't even be returning to churches, and just how we operate and lead is going to look totally different. But guess who rose to the occasion? I begin to look at the statistics, and this is why our audience will be women who are leading in their spheres of influence, because 40% of new businesses were birthed and organizations were birthed during a time where we were restricted. So what does that say? That's God showing his power. When they say many will see it in fear and know that it was God. How is it that during a time where we were so restricted and bound and just not understanding what was going on, that we were able to do so much? Those are the times God brought a lot of us back to him. He reintroduced himself to a lot of people. And so things had to fall off. And as we emerge, I just believe that we need to take 2 days to rest, regroup, relax, recover, and be empowered, and put a language to some of our feelings as we tap into God's true healing, because we're going to another level. We are.
That. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. And let me tell you something. When you shared that flyer on social media, I logged into work and I took that weekend off. I was like, oh no, I'm going. Before I even bought my ticket, I took off from work. So I was like, I'm going.
Yes. Like, and I just pray that many women are doing the same thing that you're doing. They're thinking about it. They're seeing the flyer. They're looking at the words healed for real, and that I need to be there, because everybody that comes there is going to get something out of it, going to get some revelation. We're believing God for that. It's got to happen, because it's not my assignment. It's his. I'm just walking it out.
Absolutely. You're just his hands. Absolutely. And so you are being obedient to his word, your heart and mind. You were able to hear him and to move forward with your vision. And so I am so excited. I am expecting a mighty move of God. I am going to come in just with the spirit of expectancy, my hands raised, and I'm just saying, God, whatever it is you want me to have, I'm here. I'm open. I want to hear you, God.
Absolutely.
Lord, I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
I'm excited just thinking about it. God has given me a glimpse of the things that are going to take place that weekend, and I'm just really excited. Starting from Friday night at 7:30, when we're checking in, just when you guys are opening up your conference bags, a glimpse of the things that are going to take place at 9:30 p.m. that evening. We're meeting with Ludi Santel. She's doing a heart-to-heart session with us. We're going to be in pajamas, prayer and praise, some strong intercession, prophetic worship, wisdom coming across the floor. She's going to interview 3 of Hampton Road's leading ladies that have gone through some things, and they're going to give their heart. And I know that some of the women in the audience have been through some of those same things, but they're going to tell their story. So Ludi Santel is going to interview them in that heart-to-heart session. It's kind of like a semi-slumber party, icebreaker night where we're really into the
That
soul, the root
so
of the matter.
fun, needed, necessary, and powerful. Like, this is nobody but God for you to come up with all of this and connect those dots together, because just on the surface it sounds like it doesn't go, but the way in which you are putting it together,
it's going to flow. I keep telling people, don't
meet
me there, beat me there. We even Saturday morning with Apostle Tolliver.
I ain't playing. I'm not playing. I'm not playing this whole year. This whole year, and everything God has for me, I want it, and I'm willing to go by myself. I bought this ticket by myself. I got 2 other events that I plan to attend. Have already purchased tickets, flights, hotels, because I'm going.
Let me piggyback off of that real quick. What you said is so profound, and I pray that everybody's truly listening to what Stacey just said. This is the time we've invested in so many others. I feel like I was that woman that was on the delivery table, trying to deliver and helping others to birth. And there's nothing wrong with being a midwife and pushing others, but it's time for us to invest in ourselves, invest in with the level that God has taken us to. We need more training. We need wisdom. We need tools. Right. Many of us, we have pastors, and pastors are graced to function in their areas. We have an awesome pastor. We do. We have to invest. We have to connect, because we have to advance the kingdom like never before.
Absolutely.
And we're going to need these tools. We're going to need this network. We're going to need this power. And I believe that these little hub zones that we're doing, how we're meeting outside of church, because he said, go out, compel them to come in. These are the type of things that's going to take the kingdom to the next level. Right. So if y'all see other events, get your tickets, book your flights, and let's connect, because this is how we're going to spread the gospel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm so excited to be talking to you today. And you just, I mean, you just be dropping gems. I'm like, y'all better catch this. She's just dropping them, like, for real. And then tomorrow I'm going to a brunch to talk about marketing and different things like that. Yes. At the end of March, I booked my flight, my hotel, bought the conference tickets for Bishop Jake's leadership conference in Charlotte. Because I'm just like,
take notes for me.
Yeah. I'm just like, I want to be fully equipped to handle everything God has given me. You know what I mean? And I know His grace is sufficient. I understand that, but I want to be wise with my gifts, and I want to be ready.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing my homework. I'm going to conferences. I'm praying. I'm reading my word. I'm fasting. I'm protecting my peace. I am, setting boundaries. All these things are necessary so that I can fully hear God, and so that He can know that I'm ready to move forward with what He has for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the wording on the flyer, on the Save the Date flyer for the Healed for Real retreat. So some of it says, be healed in your identity and God-given purpose. Wow. That to me was such a powerful statement. So explain what that means.
I mean, I do feel, and again, this doesn't speak, this is not for everybody, but there are many people that don't know who they are. And from the time, God says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. From the time we're born, there's a fight for our purpose. There's a fight for what God has given us to do. And some of us understand who we are as a wife, as a mother, as a businesswoman, or an employee, and the different roles that we play. But a lot of us don't understand our spiritual identity. We don't even know what it is that God has called us to. Sometimes we just mimic what we see, or our girlfriend is doing something, or, maybe we've seen this somewhere. So I don't want to, it's a harsh word to say copycat spirit. I don't want to say that, because that's not what it is, because there are similar platforms everywhere. There's similar assignments. But what I'm saying is, God wants to speak to us as individuals so that we can understand exactly who we are. Be healed in our identity. So many of us have went through things, abuse or rape, molestation, all these type of things that the enemy has tried to have us to go through to mute our voice. And so I just believe that this time of coming together, and even in this season, that God is releasing identities. No more identity crisis or confusion. We have to understand exactly who we are, what we're called to and how to walk that out. And that's a level of healing.
Absolutely. Because if you don't know who you are, how can you help anybody else when you are lost and confused yourself?
Absolutely.
So yes,
you have to. They say, there's a saying, I kept hearing it all last year, even some this year. Oh, she understood the assignment, or he understood the assignment.
Yes.
Like, do we really understand the assignment?
No.
Like, understand the assignment. So God wants us to truly understand the assignment.
Absolutely. That is so true. And you, Miss Hope, you have understood the assignment.
Every day I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm trying to grow. And we never, and let me give this disclaimer. I don't believe, look, when we're done and when we say well done, that's when it's done, right? When no more breath in our body, right? But we should be ever learning and ever growing. Not saying that we're going to get to the place where we feel like we arrived or we got it now. It's going to be always something to know as we're in this earth, right? Because things are always evolving and changing. But understand what God is doing in your life in certain seasons. I understand what you're called to, but always have the grace to grow.
Yes, the grace
out there. Grace to grow.
Yes, I might put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, grace to grow. I like that too. Let me write that down.
You know what I'm saying?
Grace to grow.
Yes, taking notes from yourself.
Right.
You know it's God.
Right.
He gave it to you.
Thank you, Holy Ghost. Look, thank you.
My own notes from what I said. That's so good.
That's when you know it's not you. I'm like, oh, that was good.
I mean, you have truly just dropped so many gems and you have so much wisdom. So again, thank you so much for being my first guest. And I'm definitely gonna have you back.
It's the things that I went through. It's the things that I went through. Like I always say, and it's almost sounding, God doesn't waste pain. He uses all of it. That's my motto. He has allowed me to grow through and go through so much. Mm-hmm. And it just increases the anointing on our life. So now I'm to the point where when things are happening, I'm saying, come on, Lord, what would you have me to learn right now? It hurt. It's still, you're still going to feel it because we're in the earth, but I just look at pain another way. I look at problems another way. God, what are you doing with this? And what's the good that's going to come out of it? It helps us to stay positive and understand that God uses everything. All things work together for our good. It really, really does. So that's why
that mindset right there, looking at pain and problems in a positive way to say, God wants me to learn something from this.
Yeah.
That takes a very mature person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, whoa.
And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard. When you're feeling it and when you're going through, it's a hard thing. Most of the time, it's after the fact where we're recognizing. But I believe God wants us to get to the place to where, as we're, how they say, it's what you do as you're going through it and how the teacher is quiet during the test. I think those are the strength building moments, the muscle building moments where it's happening and we're responding appropriately to our situations.
Right. Yeah. Right. So look, you wear a lot of different hats, like many women, we're mothers, wives, employees, business women, entrepreneurs. You are wearing so many hats and in the middle of planning this much anticipated retreat. So when you're planning something and you're so passionate about it, it can be kind of stressful. So what are some ways that you have managed your stress through wearing all your hats and planning this event?
My famous saying, teamwork makes the dream work. And I just learned to not just depend on me to do everything, but it's important to have a tribe. It's important to have people that believe in you, to help you and push you along the way. It's important to know and understand who's in your delivery room, who's helping you. When you go to have a baby, you're not going to just have anybody in there with you, right? So I do have a team now that helps me to push and helps me to create and walk these things out in the earth that God has given me to do. And you have to be self-aware. When we go into a job interview, right, one of the things they say is, what is your strength and what is your weakness? Right. I don't believe they really want to know. Sometimes they do. I think they just want to know, are we self-aware? Like, do you know who you are? Do you know what you can do and what you can't do? Now, there was a time where I was not able to handle stress very well. And I still deal with anxiety. Yes, I do. I'm going to be honest. Anxiety is a thing for me.
Oh, yes.
But I have to learn how to delegate. I have to learn how to organize, sort it out as I walk it out. And so that's one of the things I'm constantly working on is stress management. Thank God for a team and a tribe that I have that's helping me right now, because without that,
right,
it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. And stress management is something that so many of us need to learn, different coping mechanisms for stress, because before you know it, so many things can pile up on you and you don't even realize that you are just under a mountain of things and trying to dig your way out, when you know you need to incorporate coping mechanisms on a daily basis, because it can just be the simplest thing. You know, your 2-year-old baby wake up crying for no reason. He just want to be held. I'm just telling you my story this morning. I'm like, you never do this. But the morning that I have something to do, you are literally plucking my nerve.
Right. And it's life. It's life. It's a real thing.
I said, you know what? This ain't nothing but the devil. You go ahead and cry, and I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna love you, and we're gonna figure this out.
Absolutely.
Girl.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know.
So look,
I know all about that. But what it does, I believe what the enemy's trying to do is like cause a spiritual paralysis so that you won't move. You just feel like, I can't do it. And those are the type of things, those high stress situations, when a crisis shows up, it's meant to spiritually cripple you so that you cannot move. Anxiety takes your breath. You're like, and you just stop. It causes you to freeze.
Right.
But the more we have those tools to move beyond that freeze, move beyond that moment of what's happening here, I believe the more powerful we will become. I mean, we just gotta tap into God's power.
So that goes back to what
also understanding in the natural what's happening.
Yeah. But that goes back to what you mentioned earlier about putting language to your feelings. Oh, you kind of froze. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you still hear me, Hope? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. Kind of froze. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah,
that
you
goes
froze
back.
For a minute too. Are we back?
I can hear you now.
I can hear you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yes, I was saying that goes back to what you mentioned earlier about putting language to your feelings. Okay. Understanding what it is. I can.
You have to understand that basically putting the language to your feelings, understand exactly what's happening when it's happening. Some of us don't know how to respond to a crisis. We don't know what to do. And so the more you understand what's happening in the spiritual and the natural, I believe the more you can move beyond that moment. And that comes with tools. And those tools are understanding through the language.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, girl, you are just bomb.com. Do people still say that? I don't know. I still say it.
Bomb.com. I use all the old words. Do we still say lit? My conference is gonna be lit, y'all. It's gonna be lit. I don't even know if that's appropriate, right?
Gonna be lit.
Conference gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So look, what's the most difficult decision you've had to make in your professional career, and do you have any regrets?
Look. Whew. So yes, I've had to make very, very difficult decisions in my career. Most recently, a few years ago, I worked in public safety most of my adult life. And so from a deputy sheriff to correctional officer to 911 dispatcher. So talk about public safety, I've done it all. And a lot of volunteering. And so I made a decision a few years ago that enough was enough. It was time for me to step away. It was no longer healthy for me. I mean, responding to a crisis, like people, like even with the 911 job, people weren't calling me because they were having a good day. Right. You know, it's like dealing with very high stress events. And so I stepped away, and I believe that it was the season for me to step away. And sometimes when you don't hear God clearly, things will begin to happen. And so I made the difficult decision that it was time to end my career in public safety and take an early out, and I did. And so do I have any regrets? That was the second part of that. Sometimes I do, because my job was just not a career for me. It was a calling. And so some days I'm able to recognize how God used it. And I learned a lot that actually helps me even today with my volunteer work with women. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I'm just like, I want to be back in it. I want to get back into the fight. I want to answer those calls. I want to, be in the jail, run into the incidents and talking to people, social working. Like, it was my calling. And so you have to understand levels of grace. Sometimes God will move you and reposition you. And you have to hear him clearly on that. That was a very difficult decision for me. And I sometimes still wrestle with that decision because, like I said, I want to be back in the fight. And so, that part.
Yeah. And so how long did you have that career, like working in the jail as a deputy sheriff? And that's a hard job.
Yeah. So over about 13, 14 years, I worked in public safety.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So done that most of my adult life, like I said. So to walk away from it, to just be like full-time ministry, part-time entrepreneur, it's really hard. But I see I'm like, God, I see what you did there. Because if I was still doing this, I wouldn't have been able to write books. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. And so even as a wife and a mother, I'm able to be home because I worked overnights and it seemed like I was always gone, high stress and a lot of hours. You miss events. You miss important things that your kids have going on. And so that was difficult, but the season that I did it, I understand why God had me to do that, but no longer grace for it. And so it's something that I have to accept every day.
Yeah. And like you mentioned earlier, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. And so it, he got you. Yes. Using those experiences and that pain for
yes.
moving forward.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So I want to talk to you about your goals now. What are some goals you have yet to accomplish? And how do you plan to get those things done?
With a team, with a lot of prayer, and just understanding of what he's calling me to. Some of my goals are to work harder in ministry and do the things that he's called me to do in the earth. And that is through what I'm doing now with the conference, even things in my home church, working with my pastor to walk some things out in the community. And business, taking that to the next level. Some of you may know, my husband and my sister and I, we went on the Food Network 2 years ago. We competed on the Great Food Truck Race. So we have a culinary passion, both my husband and I together. My sister assisted us on that journey. But God didn't take us to that level just for us to come home and drop the ball or, not put our all into it, even though there's some things you have to learn along the way. And, you got to get better at what you do. I know that that's an area and a sphere that God is trying to take us to together. So that's something that we're working on together to get our food truck out there and just do more in the culinary field. So that's my goal this year, is to take that culinary journey to the next level and also to do more in ministry. And so just working with the team and getting together with my husband to charter these waters. We'll get it done.
And let me tell y'all something. I have a event planned in July, and Miss Hope is the caterer.
So y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets, because that's a brunch.
Sure y'all get y'all tickets.
Yes, the menu is exclusive. You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss it. For the food, absolutely, I can't wait for that. But for total wellness and what God is going to do for those folks who decide to invest in themselves, it's going to be a transformational experience. And I'm so excited. And so your brunch is just going to be the icing on the cake. I cannot wait to share the menu. I can't wait.
I'm excited about your event, and that just speaks to think about that total wellness and health. And I've seen a couple of other events where people are talking about healing. I know God is speaking about that because there's so many people that are on that healing journey and gathering people together to talk about that. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I know that God released that to you. So I'm just happy that you would even have me to be a part of it. So
oh my goodness,
I'm going to be there, serving, but at the same time, getting some jewelry.
You are going to be serving. And there is one other thing that I'm going to ask you to do, but I'm not going to ask you right now. I'm going to ask you offline. Okay. And I know because God just dropped it in me while you were talking earlier, and I was like, okay, I hear you, Lord.
Okay. It's like, we'll talk about it. Okay.
Yes. I'm just so excited because you are just so beautiful inside and out.
Oh, thank
you.
Just have you.
Thank you so much. Spirit. You just have a willing, beautiful spirit, and I'm just so excited to be connected to you. Wow. And I just feel like God is so purposeful, so intentional, putting us together.
Yes.
And I just cannot wait to see what the future holds. I'm going to be there at Healed for Real with bells on. Girl, I'm going to have my pajamas, my robe for this pajama party, my notebook, everything, girl. My VIP package. I got my VIP ticket, y'all. So
listen, let me tell you what that entails. So
please do.
Let me tell you. So I think I talked about Friday night with Ludi Santel, the heart to heart, right? The pajamas, prayer, and praise. Going to be awesome. That's the icebreaker. And I don't think there'll be a dry eye in the room because God was showing, he literally wants to do it.
I shouldn't wear my lashes when I come.
Listen, ladies, don't wear your lashes Friday night. Just go ahead and not unless you have some super glue that don't none of us know about. Just keep them home, okay? Or keep them upstairs in your room. But Saturday, we're doing we're having a class. It's a purpose-driven class with Apostle Tolliver. He's an awesome apostolic teacher. Amazing. A lot of revelation. The VIP package, you're going to get a one-on-one, like a success session with him. The revelation is real. He don't even have to know you to tell you what God is saying. Like, that's why I like the fact that he's not even from this area. He don't know Stacy, but I can guarantee you he will have a word for Stacy. So
I'm so excited.
That's Apostle Tolliver. Right after that is a power brunch at 11 o'clock. And that's going to be fun. We're going to have stations. It's going to be real cool. A comedian is coming. That's going to be a fun time. We're recognizing some community leaders and businesses. Then that evening, 7:30 is the main event, Denim and Diamonds. That's our church service with Pastor Carolyn Riggs. We're going to have on our denim and diamonds because I want you to be relaxed, but don't want your little diamond earrings or a necklace.
Okay.
I'm so excited about this conference and what God has given us to do, Stacey. Like, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
I truly believe it is because obviously you have a spirit of excellence. And so when you do something, you put your all into it. It's not shabby. It's not going to be, anything that people don't want to attend or share with others. Like, I'm excited. I cannot wait. And for those of you who are watching or who are going to watch this broadcast later, get your tickets. We're going to drop the links in the comment for you to get your tickets on Eventbrite. Get your tickets because this event is going to sell out. And don't wait till the last minute. Do like me. Take off work.
Want to get
use and leave.
And it's limited space because we are still, contending with the pandemic and because of, the space. It's limited. I do believe the event is going to sell out. Get the early bird tickets. The general admission is $75 and and VIP is $125. But if you get it now, it's $50 and then $90 for VIP. So, take advantage of the early bird offer. Take advantage of the early bird because I do believe it's going to sell out as we're releasing more information. I know right now the information is limited. It's purpose in that. I got more flyers coming. We're strategizing, with our marketing. But I'm telling you, I have information to release soon about more people that are coming on the platform. And you might want to get your tickets now. You might want to get them now.
Absolutely. And so, Hope, as you do release more information about the event, if you want to come back on and share more information, that would be awesome. Or invite one of your guest speakers to just pop in on our broadcast to say, just to kind of give a preview of what your guests can expect. I would love to have y'all back.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that.
Okay. Hope, I love you with the love of the Lord. I am so happy to know you. Yeah.
I love you too, Stacey.
Yes.
Great to be connected. Great to be connected.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. So I'm going to let you go. I thank you so much for taking time on this Saturday morning and getting all dolled up for us. Thank you, girl.
Look, not dolled up, but thank you.
I can't wait to have you back. I can't wait to have you back. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Please don't forget to share this broadcast. Okay.
Thank you.
And yes. Share this broadcast. And Hope and I are going to put the link in the comments of this broadcast for the tickets because you don't want to miss out. This is going to be a life-changing event. And so get your tickets early because I got mine. First thing this morning, I got my ticket. So, yeah. Any last comments before we log off? Did you want to have any last comments? I know the broadcast is kind of might be Wi-Fi is kind of messing up. Yeah. Okay, so Hope, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you for supporting. Yes. Okay. I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to thank everybody. Want to thank everybody who logged on, all the viewers, those who were catching it on the replay. Thank you so much. Again, check the comments for the Eventbrite link. Thank you, Stacey, for having me. I pray for this platform. I know God is going to do great things through what He's giving you to do as well. So again, thank you. I'm so excited that I was on Grown Girl Talk this Saturday morning, and y'all have a blessed day. God bless you. And remember, you can be healed for real.
For real. Bye. All right. Bye-bye.
For real. Bye.